Hello, my name is Zach, and I will be reading this next set of Aesop's Fables for you today. These fables come from a 1919 copy, the Aesop for Children, originally with pictures by Milo Winter. So, without any further ado, the first fable is that of the ant and the dove. A dove saw an ant fall into a brook. The ant struggled in vain to reach the bank, and in pity, the dove dropped a blade of straw close beside it. Clinging to the straw like a shipwrecked sailor to a broken spar, the ant floated safely to shore. Soon after, the ant saw a man getting ready to kill the dove with a stone. But just as he cast the stone, the ant stung him in the heel, so that the pain made him miss his aim, and the startled dove flew to safety in a distant wood. The moral being, a kindness is never wasted. This next fable is that of the man and the satyr. A long time ago, a man met a satyr in the forest and succeeded in making friends with him. The two soon became the best of comrades, living together in the man's hut. But one cold winter evening, as they were walking homeward, the satyr saw the man blow on his fingers. "Why do you do that?" asked the satyr. "To warm my hands," replied the man. When they reached home, the man prepared 2 bowls of porridge. These he placed steaming hot on the table, and the comrades sat down very cheerfully to enjoy the meal. But much to the satyr's surprise, the man began to blow into his bowl of porridge. "Why do you do that?" he asked. "To cool my porridge," replied the man. The satyr sprang hurriedly to his feet and made for the door. "Goodbye," he said. "I've seen enough. A fellow that blows hot and cold in the same breath cannot be friends with me." The moral, therefore, being, the man who talks for both sides is not to be trusted by either. The next fable is that of the wolf, the kid, and the goat. Mother Goat was going to market one morning to get provisions for her household, which consisted of but one little kid and herself. "Take good care of the house, my son," she said to the kid as she carefully latched the door. "Do not let anyone in unless he gives you this password: 'Down with the wolf and all his race.'" Strangely enough, a wolf was lurking near and heard what the goat had said. So, as soon as Mother Goat was out of sight, up he trotted to the door and knocked. "Down with the wolf and all his race," said the wolf softly. It was the right password, but when the kid peeped through a crack in the door and saw the shadowy figure outside, he did not feel at all easy. "Show me a white paw," he said, "or I won't let you in." A white paw, of course, is a feature few wolves can show, and so Master Wolf had to go away as hungry as he had come. "You can never be too sure," said the kid when he saw the wolf making off to the woods. And the moral of this being, 2 sureties are better than 1. The next fable is that of the swallow and the crow. The swallow and the crow had an argument one day about their plumage. Said the swallow, "Just look at my bright and downy feathers. Your black stiff quills are not worth having. Why don't you dress better? Show a little pride." "Your feathers may do very well in spring," replied the crow, "but I don't remember ever having seen you around in winter, and that's when I enjoy myself most." The moral of this being, friends in fine weather only are not worth much. This next fable is that of Jupiter and the monkey. There was once a baby show among the animals in the forest. Jupiter provided the prize. Of course, all the proud mammas from far and near brought their babies, but none got there earlier than Mother Monkey. Proudly, she presented her baby among the other contestants. As you can imagine, there was quite a laugh when the animals saw the ugly, flat-nosed, hairless, pop-eyed little creature. "Laugh if you will," said the Mother Monkey. "Though Jupiter may not give him the prize, I know that he is the prettiest, the sweetest, the dearest darling in the world." The moral being, mother love is blind. The next fable is that of the lion, the ass, and the fox. A lion, an ass, and a fox were hunting in company and caught a large quantity of game. The ass was asked to divide the spoil. This he did very fairly, giving each an equal share. The fox was well satisfied, but the lion flew into a great rage over it, and with one stroke of his huge paw he added the ass to the pile of slain. Then he turned to the fox. "You divide it," he roared angrily. The fox wasted no time in talking. He quickly piled all the game into one great heap. From this he took a very small portion for himself, such undesirable bits as the horns and hoofs of a mountain goat and the end of an ox-tail. The lion now recovered his good humor entirely. "Who taught you to divide so fairly?" he asked pleasantly. "I learned a lesson from the ass," replied the fox, carefully edging away. The moral being, learn from the misfortunes of others. The next fable is the lion's share. A long time ago, the lion, the fox, the jackal, and the wolf agreed to go hunting together, sharing with each other whatever they found. One day, the wolf ran down a stag and immediately called his comrades to divide the spoil. Without being asked, the lion placed himself at the head of the feast to do the carving, and with a great show of fairness began to count the guests. "1," he said, counting on his claws, "that is myself, the lion. 2, that's the wolf. 3 is the jackal, and the fox makes 4. He then very carefully divided the stag into 4 equal parts. "I am King Lion," he said when he had finished, "so of course I get the first part. This next part falls to me because I am the strongest, and this is mine because I am the bravest." He now began to glare at the others very savagely. "If any of you have any claim to the part that is left," he growled, stretching his claws meaningly, "now is the time to speak up." The moral being, might makes right. And the last of the fables that I will be reading today is The Mole and His Mother. A little mole once said to his mother, "Why, mother, you said I was blind, but I am sure I can see." Mother Mole saw she would have to get such conceit out of his head. So she put a bit of frankincense before him and asked him to tell what it was. The little mole peered at it. "Why, that's a pebble." "Well, my son, that proves you've lost your sense of smell as well as being blind." And the moral of this is, boast of one thing, and you will be found lacking in that and a few other things as well. And that's the end of the fables that I will be reading today. Hope you've enjoyed, and be sure to tune in for the next set of fables. Have a good day.